chapter 12 of 8th Canto, entitled Mohini Murti Bewilders Lord Shiva. So let me do a very, very quick invocation, and then we can begin the discussion. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Madhyanatimidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuruntamya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namaha Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswat Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So last week we discussed how there was a fight between the demons and demigods, devatas, and how devatas devatas surrendered to Lord Vishnu, and then they were able to defeat the demons. And Shukracharya was able to bring them back to life. Those demons whose limbs were intact. That's how our Bali Maharaj was brought back to life with the special mantra called Mruta Sanjeevani. And he did not feel ashamed. Bali Maharaj thought, yes, so Supreme Lord Vishnu had taken their side. They are winning the battle. That's fine. So that's how that chapter ends. But in between now, we have this particular chapter, Mohini Murti bewilders Lord Shiva. So, um, so in this chapter, we see that Lord Shiva, if we go back to the pastime of churning of milk ocean, so the all the demigods went to Lord Shiva and requested him to, drink the poison hala hala. So Lord Shiva helped them by drinking this poison, and then he left that place. The churning of milk ocean was continued, and there were several other things came out as we discussed. And at the end, of course, the nectar amrutam came out, and the demons snatched it, and they were running and they were fighting among themselves. Um, the demigods, devatas, seeing the situation, they surrendered to Lord Vishnu, and Lord Vishnu promised them not to worry. And then he took the form of this beautiful woman, who is known as Mohini Murti, Murti is form. Mohini means one who attracts, or bewilders. Moha. mm. Uh, so he took that form, and he bewildered the demons. The demigods were not bewildered. They knew it was Supreme Personality of Godhead took that particular form, but however, the demons, they were completely bewildered and got cheated, and then thereby Lord distributed the nectar amrutam to his devotees, his servants. huh? um, so Lord Shiva did not see this particular form of the Lord. So he, after drinking poison, he went to his place. Uh, he, he lives on the hills of Himalaya. Hmm. So he went there, um, but now he's coming back, and then wanted to see that form. So let's see. Um, So, understanding that the Lord had captivated the demons and enabled the demigods to drink the nectar, Lord Shiva, along with Mother Parvati, Uma, so his carrier is a bull. So, on the bull, they went to see the Lord. huh? Um, So when they went there, Mother Parvati and Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu welcomed with great respect, and spoke kind words. And after being seated comfortably, um, Lord Shiva worshipped Lord Vishnu. hmm, uh, and he offered prayers. So Lord Shiva worshipped Lord Vishnu, and then Lord Shiva offered prayers. And so we will recite basically these prayers. This is how, when you go to the Supreme Lord, you offer prayers. So Lord Shiva is also following the etiquette. He is called Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Hmm? So there are some wonderful verses. I'll just recite one and maybe read a few translations. So this is Shri Mahadeva Uvacha. This means Mahadev spoke. Lord Shiva had spoken this. hmm, देवदेव जगद्व्यापिन् जगदीश जगन्मया सर्वेषामपि भावानां त्वमात्महेतुरीश्वरः. So Lord Shiva is saying that Deva Deva, you are the God of all gods. Jagat Vyapin, you are pervading the entire universe. Jagadisha, you are the master. huh? Mm. So, like this, O chief of the chief demigods among the demigods, O all-pervading Lord, master of the universe, by your energy you are transformed into the creation. You are the root and efficient cause of everything. You are not material. Indeed, you are the super soul, supreme living force of everything. Therefore, you are Parameshwara, the supreme controller of the controllers. Hmm. So, Lord Shiva, although he is Ishvara, he is Mahadeva, he is one of the controllers. Everyone is a controller. Even living entities sometimes is called Ishvara, controller. But there is supreme controller, Parameshwara. And Lord Shiva confirms here that Lord Vishnu is that Parameshwara. is the supreme controller. Hmm? Uh, so then he talks about that's glorifying the Lord. Then he talks about Lord's pure devotees. What do they do? Lord Shiva tells pure devotees or great saintly persons who desire to achieve the highest goal in life and who are completely free from all material desires engage constantly in the transcendental service of your lotus feet. So, this is what the pure devotees do. And Lord Shiva is glorifying the devotees of the Lord Vishnu. Hmm? Uh, so they always constantly engage in the service of the Supreme Lord. Hmm? So this is the nature of the pure devotees. And the other verses talks about his greatness, um, cause, and he is the cause of all causes. Lord Shiva tells. Um, hmm? So then we go to 10. So text 10 he says, "My Lord, I who am considered to be one of the best demigods, and Lord Brahma and the great rishis headed by Marichi are born of the mode of goodness. Nonetheless, we are bewildered by your illusory energy and cannot understand what this creation is. Aside from us, what is said to be said of others, like demons and human beings, who are the base modes of material nature, Rajoguna and Tamoguna, how will they know you?" So here, Lord Shiva, in his prayers, he tells that um, myself and Lord Brahma and other great rishis, they get bewildered by your illusory energy. We get bewildered by your energy, and we sometimes we fail to understand you. And what to speak of these, other beings, demons and humans? How can they understand? Krishna says in the 10th chapter, Name vidu suragana prabhavam nama harishaya aham madirihi devanam maharishinam cha sarvasha. Name vidu suragana. Devatas, the demigods, they don't understand about me. They don't know about me. Hmm? They don't know me. Even the great sages don't know me. Name vidhu suradana prabhavamna maharishaya aham adirhi devanam maharishinam cha sarvacha. I am the beginning of all these demigods and the sages. I am the source of them, and they don't know me. And even the Bhagavatam first verse says, yeah, Muyyanti yat surayaha, even the great demigods and devatas, they get bewildered. No one can bewilder Lord Vishnu, but other people can be bewildered. We know how Indra got bewildered through the pastime of many times he makes mistakes, and of course, especially Govardhan Leela pastime, and how Lord Brahma, he was bewildered uh, when he stole those calves and the coward boyfriends of Krishna. Brahma Vimohan Leela, it is called, bewilderment of Lord Brahma. But these are great people, very, very great people. Mm. And Um, so here, Lord Shiva humbly submitting that we fail to know you, and how can the demons and other beings can understand you? Hmm? Uh, so after offering prayers to Lord Vishnu, um, and he says, I have seen all kinds of incarnations you exhibited. huh? Um, Now that you appeared as a beautiful young woman, I wish to see that form of your lordships. Uh, so now Lord Shiva discloses um, the purpose of his coming here, his desire to see that form, recent incarnation of Mohini Murti, who had assumed to distribute the nectar generated from the churning of milk ocean. So, uh, um, yeah, um, Lord Shiva tells, we are very, very eager to see that form. And so, having thus requested by Lord Shiva, um, so Lord Vishnu spoke. mm, Um, when the demons took away the jug of nectar, I assumed this beautiful woman, form of a beautiful woman, and bewildered them directly, cheating them, and thus to act in the interest of demigods. Mm. Uh, so, um, yeah, when the Lord assumed the form of beautiful woman Mohini Murti, the demons were certainly captivated. But as I mentioned before, demigods present were not bewildered. Mm. Um, so Lord Vishnu knew that because Lord Shiva is not an ordinary person, he cannot be bewildered even by the most beautiful woman. Lord Shiva greatness is that, you know, Cupid himself tried to invoke Lord Shiva's lusty desire in the presence of Parvati. When Mother Parvati was worshipping Lord Shiva, um, this is after Sati. Initially, she was Sati, daughter of Daksha. And because Daksha insulted Lord Shiva, Sati uh, um, burnt herself. She brought up a fire within herself, and then she um, leaves her body in that way. Sati, that's the same Sati, then became the daughter of Himalayas, Himavan, uh, king of the mountains. And then she was known as Parvati. Initially Sati, later Parvati. So this Parvati um, was worshipping Lord Shiva. Cupid shot an arrow to invoke lusty desires so that Shiva can be attracted to Mother Parvati and get married again. But Lord Shiva, he, Lord Shiva was not bewildered at all. He just simply opened the third eye and burned Cupid into ashes. That was the, power. He's called Dhira, very, very sober person, great personality. Uh, Uh, so therefore, Lord Vishnu had to think twice what kind of beautiful form would bewilder even Lord Shiva. Uh, and so, uh, yeah, so that's why he was smiling gravely. Uh, so, prahasya bhava gambhiram. So, smiling gravely, externally smiling, internally thinking, oh, how can I bewilder Lord Shiva? Because he's such a powerful personality. Mm. A beautiful woman generally cannot induce Lord Shiva to be lusty, but Lord Vishnu was considering whether there was any form of woman who could enchant him. So this was going on in the mind of Lord Vishnu when Lord Shiva requested him to show the form. Mm. So he had to think twice. Um, and he wanted to have some nice pastime with the Lord Shiva. Mm. So Lord Vishnu said, "Okay, you want to see that form? I shall reveal it." Mm. Saying that, Lord Vishnu disappeared from that place. Uh, from that place, and then Lord Shiva remained there with Mother Parvati, Uma, looking for him all around. Mm. So thereafter, in a nearby nice forest, uh, he saw Lord Shiva saw a beautiful woman playing with a ball. Mm. And she wore a very shining sari ornamented with a belt. Mm. So Lord Vishnu disappeared from that place. He said, "Okay, I will reveal the form." And then Lord Shiva found a girl in the nearby forest. She was very, very beautiful. And mm, so she was playing with a ball, a bouncing ball. Um, and there, she wore a very nice garland. Um, so, and she had beautiful, restless eye, which moved as the ball bounced here and there. Uh, and brilliant earrings were there. Um, so she was playing with the ball, and so this was so attractive that Supreme Lord, uh, by his internal potency, in this way captivated everyone. So she's internal potency of the Lord. Hmm? Um, so indeed, everyone is fully captivated by our activities. Lord Shiva was not to be captivated by external energy. So, Mother Parvati is external energy. Mm. But Lord Shiva was not captivated by Maya, external energy. Uh, but Lord Vishnu wanted to captivate him. He exhibited his internal potency. So please note this important point here. Internal potency. Uh, Yoga Maya. She is made up of Yoga Maya. Uh, um, he exhibited his internal potency to act the way that his external potency acts captivate ordinary beings. So, yeah, external potency, external energy, Maya will attract the normal beings, but Lord Shiva will not be attracted and bewildered by external potency. So, Lord has to exhibit this form through internal energy. so to attract Lord Shiva. So Lord Shiva observed this beautiful woman playing with the ball, and she sometimes glanced at him and slightly smiled in bashfulness. Um, so she watched him, and he forgot both himself and Uma, his most beautiful wife, as well as his associates nearby. So his associates also were there. Uh, um, so Lord Shiva forgot, even though Uma was there, he forgot. Hmm. Uh, so Lord Shiva was supposed to be above all the attraction, but he was victimized by the captivating power of Lord Vishnu, uh, uh, because it's an internal potency. So Lord Shiva observed the activities of this beautiful woman, and suddenly a breeze blew away the fine sari, and she became a naked woman. And Lord Shiva saw this form of the woman, and the beautiful woman also looked at him, and therefore thinking that she was attracted to him, Lord Shiva very much attracted to her. Mm. Um, so yeah, and then Lord Shiva um, ran after this woman, already naked, and she was extremely bashful when Lord Shiva was coming, and she kept smiling. She hid herself among the trees and did not stand in one place. Um, so Lord Shiva, after following her with great speed, he managed to caught her and dragged her near him, and although she was unwilling, he embraced her with his arms. Mm. Uh, so here it is said, this woman who is very beautiful, a woman of Yoga Maya, presented by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. uh, and somehow or other she released herself from the embrace of Lord Shiva, Asams, and ran away. So let me, yes, 1 second. Yeah. So Lord Shiva cannot be victimized by Maya. Therefore, it is to be understood that Lord Shiva was being thus harassed by Lord Vishnu's internal potency. Just now I mentioned earlier. Uh, since Lord Shiva was being harassed by the woman, it is to be understood that this was being done not by a woman, but by Lord Vishnu himself. This is another very, very key point. No woman can bewilder Lord Shiva. Uh, please remember that. So here it is clearly mentioned, it is to be understood that this was being done not by women, but by Lord Vishnu himself. Hmm? Right? And um, so um, this woman was running everywhere, and hmm? So is Lord Shiva victimized by the lusty desires, began to follow her, um, And after following her with great speed, Lord Shiva, yes, we mentioned that, embraced. And yeah, so Lord Shiva followed the beautiful woman and discharged semen, even though this discharge of semen never goes in vain. So wherever the semen fell on the globe, there were mines of gold and silver. Mm. So it is said, following Mohini Murthy, Lord Shiva went everywhere, near the shores of rivers and lakes, near the mountains, near the forests, near the gardens, and wherever there lived great sages. So we'll read this purport, I think. So Srila Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur says that Mohini Murthy dragged Lord Shiva to so many places, especially to where great sages lived, hmm, to instruct the sages that their Lord Shiva had become mad for a beautiful woman. Thus, although they were all great sages and saintly persons, they should not think themselves free, but should remain extremely cautious about beautiful men. No one should think himself liberated in the presence of a beautiful woman. Hmm. So here, um, Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur highlights this point that Mohini Murthy dragged Lord Shiva to so many places, especially where the great sages were living, and those sages were actually worshippers of Lord Shiva, just to show them that they have to be very careful, mm, with the opposite sex. So after the discharge of seminal discharge, Lord Shiva could himself see how he had been victimized by the illusion created by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, he restrained himself from any further Maya. Uh, and thus, Lord Shiva could understand his position and that of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who has unlimited potencies. Having reached this understanding, he was not at all surprised by the wonderful way Lord Vishnu had acted upon him. Hmm. Lord Shiva was already aware of the supreme power of Lord Vishnu, but when he was actually put into bewilderment, he felt proud to have such an exalted master. Uh, he was not at all surprised with this. Seeing Lord Shiva unagitated and unashamed. Here you see, Lord Shiva was not at all agitated and not at all shamed. He knows, yes, Lord Vishnu can bewilder me. That's fine. I was not bewildered by an ordinary person, but I was bewildered by Lord Vishnu. That's fine. He can do that. Hmm. He was not agitated, not ashamed. Hmm. Um, he was actually, Lord Vishnu was pleased to see this behavior of Lord Vishnu. Thus he resumed his original form and spoke as follows. Although Lord Shiva is never defeated by anyone, when defeated by Lord Vishnu, he felt proud that he had such an exalted, powerful master. So Supreme Personality of Godhead spoke. O best of the demigods, although you have been amply harassed because of my potency in assuming the form of a woman, you are re-established in your position. Therefore, may all good fortune be upon you. Mm. Yeah, here Prabhupada writes, this frightlessness is possible only for the first class devotee of whom Lord Shiva, Lord Shambhu is one. Uh, so Lord Shiva resumed his normal, unagitated condition immediately. My dear Lord Shambhu, who within this material world but you can surpass my illusory energy? People are generally attached to sense enjoyment and conquered by its influence. Indeed, the influence of material nature is very difficult for them to surmount. So he says, my external energy, Maya, will not be able to bewilder you any longer. Mm. So then Shukadeva Goswami says, having thus been praised by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shiva circumambulated Lord Vishnu, and then also Lord Vishnu, after Lord Shiva circumambulated him, he embraced Lord Shiva. Then Lord Shiva took permission from Lord Vishnu and returned to his abode, Kailash, hmm, along with his associates. And Lord Shiva, in jubilation, then addressed his wife, uh, Bhavani. Hmm. Uh, so he addressed as follows: O goddess, O Parvati, you have now seen the illusory energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the unborn master of everyone. Although I am one of the principal expansions of his lordship, even I was illusioned by his energy. What then is to be said of others who are fully dependent on Maya? So he says, the Sanskrit word is aham kalanam rushabhopi, aham kalanam rushabhopi. That means I am one of the chief expansions of the Supreme Lord. Mm. Mm. Uh, and I got bewildered. I am one of the principal expansions, and what to speak of others? They are completely dependent upon Maya. Mm. And he says this when Lord Shiva says, mm, when I finished performing mystic yoga for 1,000 years, O Parvati, you asked me that whom I was meditating upon. And then says, now here is that supreme person to whom time has no entrance and who the Vedas cannot understand. So here Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati, yes, he is my worshipable Lord. I was actually meditating upon him. You asked me when I completed 1,000 years of mystic yoga. So I was actually meditating upon him. And many times you see the picture of the Lord Shiva. So he's in meditation. Hmm. Yeah. So at the end, Shukadeva Goswami says, "My dear King Parikshit, so now I've described um, the pastime of churning of milk ocean um, and is Supreme Lord's power. And so, if one endeavors to constantly hear and describe this narration of churning of milk ocean, will never be fruitless. Indeed, chanting the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the only means to annihilate all suffering in this material world. So, Shukadeva Goswami says that those who describe or hear this particular pastime will benefit a lot, will never be fruitless. And here he says that one should hear and describe the pastimes of the Lord constantly. Uh, this is the only means to annihilate the suffering of this material world. Uh, uh, mm. So then he says, assuming the form of young woman and thus bewildering the demons, Lord Vishnu distributed nectar to his devotees, demigods. Uh, onto that personality of Godhead who always fulfills the desires of his devotee, I offer my respectable obeisances. Mm. Shukadeva Goswami says, um, and Prabhupada writes one very important point in the purport. And Lord Vishnu, Krishna says in the Gita, Samoham sarva bhuteshu name dveshosti na priya. I am equal to everyone. Um, uh, I'm not. I envy no one, nor I am partial to anyone. I'm equal to everyone. But ye bhajantu te mam vaktya maite teshu chapeham. However, if one renders service unto me in devotion, is a friend, is in me, I am also a friend to him. So there is a partiality. Krishna exhibits partiality. Mm. And so is neither, actually, it is said neither partial nor impartial, but reciprocal. Mm. So although is equal, he, he shows that affection towards his devotees. Uh, though the demons and the demigods, devatas, walked hard uh, for the nectar, only the demigods got it because they were the devotees of the Supreme Lord. So, in this pastime, we see that how Lord Shiva, along with Mother Parvati and his associate, went to see Lord Vishnu and offered prayers um, and requested Lord Vishnu to show his form of Mohini Murti, the beautiful young woman which bewildered the demons. Mm. When Lord Vishnu was requested by Lord Shiva, um, he was smiling and at the same time gravely thinking inside. And then he decided, how can I bewilder? Normal, ordinary women cannot bewilder Lord Shiva. Uh, so it's actually the internal potency. This form of the Lord is internal potency. Mm. So then Lord Vishnu disappeared from that place. Then Lord Shiva saw that beautiful young woman playing with a ball in the nearby garden, and she had all the beautiful, wonderful feature, very attractive. And Lord Shiva got attracted to her, and this woman was looking at Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva was looking at her. Lord Shiva tried to follow, ran after her, and her sari blew away. And Lord Shiva, somehow or other embraced her, and she, the beautiful woman, slipped away from the embrace of Lord Shiva and ran away. And this is how Lord Shiva had been victimized, and he had a seminal discharge. And this woman was actually, running in the hermitage near the hermitages of sages. Um, and Lord Shiva was following the Mohini Murti, and acharyas tell us that just to show that the sages should be very careful of opposite sex. Even their worshipable Lord Shiva was attracted to this form of Mohini Murti. But at the end, Lord Shiva, he was unagitated and uh, unashamed. Um, yes, I was bewildered by Lord Vishnu. My master can bewilder me. Um, so he was unagitated, and we know that how powerful Lord Shiva was. Even Cupid could not bewilder him or invoke lusty desires in him. And acharyas, and even the texts in the text, a few texts mentioned that actually this form is yogamaya. The devotees get attracted to yogamaya. Yogamaya's job is to bring one closer to Krishna, and the external energy Mahaya's job is to take one away from Lord Vishnu. Mm. So but here this form is yogamaya, made up of yogamaya. And Lord Vishnu was very, very happy with the behavior, and um, you know with the soberness of Lord Shiva, and said that you will never be bewildered by external energy, you will never be affected by the Maya. Mm. And then Lord Shiva tells Mother Parvati, "Oh Parvati, you asked me one day when I woke up from the meditation for performing for 1,000 years. You asked me whom I was meditating upon. Here is that Lord I was meditating upon." Um, like that, Lord Shiva mentioned. Um, and then Shukadev Goswami tells that, hearing and describing the pastimes of the Lord, especially here in this case, churning of milk ocean, will not go in vain. And this is the only method to counteract the miseries of this material world. Constantly describe and hear the pastimes of the Supreme Lord. And so at the end, it is mentioned that how Lord distributed nectar only to demigods, indicating that although he is equal to everyone, he shows he's inclined to his devotees. So that's why he distributed the nectar to the demigods. So for us also, um, when we, mm, we become, if we become devotees of the Lord is telling us, is giving us a hint here. You become my devotee, then I'm automatically inclined to you. Mm. So the demigods achieved one result, and the demons did not achieve the nectar, although they both worked very hard. At the same time, same place, same goal. Mm, Everything is same. Uh, because one is a devotee, the other is not a devotee. Similarly, even though we work in the material world, even though we externally, wear same clothes and have same appearance sometimes when we go to work as others, but if we are devotees, if we are, if one is a devotee, one will achieve a better result. Mm. The ordinary karmis will end up in the cycle of birth and death. Uh, uh, it's a vicious cycle, whereas devotees will get the eternal shelter at the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, Arya Devi.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. I don't know if this is a silly question, so apologies, but when you said Lord Vishnu was thinking about how to bewilder Lord Shiva, so externally he appeared smiling, but internally he was thinking how to do it. Is that just he's thinking for pastime's sake?
Pastime.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
just for a pastime purpose. And also to demonstrate that even though, y- you know, even though Lord Shiva gets bewildered, he's still not agitated. He could understand the greatness, the power of Lord Vishnu. He's not sorry that, yes, okay, Lord Vishnu bewildered me. He was happy.
I mean, like, just about the part that Lord Vishnu had to think.
Yes, that's a pastime. Yes. So you want to have that wonderful pastime with Lord Shiva.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
But not only Lord Shiva, he bewildered even Brahma also, you remember? Yeah. So these are
As
all.
in, I don't know if you understood it the way I meant it. I meant, because if Vishnu is all-knowing, why does he have to think? Surely he would know the answer instantly.
Because Lord Shiva was such a great personality, he had to think twice. Prabhupada writes in the purport.
Oh, okay.
To bewilder you and me will not it require much thinking, but he had to think. Prabhupada writes in the purport that Lord Vishnu had to think twice how to
Yeah.
bewilder.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Mahadev, Lord Shiva ki jai, Mohini Murti ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi, Hari Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare
Thank
Krishna
you
Prabhuji.
very much.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Thank you so much.